Welcome to our welcome and onboarding call for Q4 2025. Um, we have, as I just mentioned, three different profiles for students that we have identified through extensive surveys and questionnaires and all kinds of market research. So the reason we do these calls is because for our coaching offers, for our courses, and for everything, we've identified three groups of people, basically. The first group is the eager beavers who are super excited to jump in, and then they jump in, and it gets really overwhelming fast about where to start. And they do get results fast because they tend to jump in with the idea that they're going to organize their entire life over a weekend. And then what happens is they just feel a little bit overwhelmed with everything that needs to happen, and then the learning doesn't always stick because they kind of got too eager and too excited jumping in. So we want to make sure that we support our eager beavers to kind of help them slow down a bit and realize that you don't have to do everything at once. And then we have our time tamers who like to learn little by little, but then they kind of forget where they left off because they kind of jump in and out a little bit and take their time, and that's totally okay. But what we don't want is for our time tamers to feel guilty or behind when they think about the progress, because they might compare themselves to other students and say, well, oh, I'm behind, or this and that, or I haven't done anything in a few months, and now I feel guilty. I should have done more and all that. That's something that we don't want to have happen, because we have people coming in and out of our courses and our coaching offers and all that all the time. It's evergreen. So there really is no timeline for it. It's just about how you want to progress. And of course, then we have our potential students, our potential prospects, who are very interested a lot of the time. They might be on our email list or sort of watch our free stuff and might want to jump in at some point, but then they have questions and then they're hesitant to bother us with those questions because they're not sure if they're ready or not. So that's really why we put this webinar together. So we have it 4 times a year now, so that anybody in our community can jump in and out and see what's new and sort of get a fresh start if that's what's need to happen, and just feel like, oh, I know exactly where I'm going to start again if it took a moment to start. Sometimes we have people who buy our courses a few months or even up to a year in advance because there's a good sale, and then they don't jump in until later. So we just want to make sure that everybody knows that there really is no timeline here. If you have invested in one of our courses, we want you to get the best ROI out of it, and we want to support you no matter what type of time frame that you're working with. So you can jump in and out as you want. You can ask us anything you want on this webinar. We're going to go through a bunch of stuff, including we're going to meet some of the coaches here. We're going to have an overview of all of our offers. We're going to talk about our decision flowchart and how to get our emails. Then we're going to jump in and just have an overview of the academy. For some of you, it may have been a minute since you were here. We have some updates that happened in the academy. Same thing in Circle, which is our community. And then we have roadmaps for learning that we're going to cover, and then we'll go into some Q&A. So that's the plan for today. Feel free to put any questions you have in the chat, and we'll get to them in a moment. All right, so the coaches and team members. Hopefully you all know me. I'm Caroline. I'm a certified photo organizer, a 10-year Golden Circle member of NAPO, and an advisory board member to the photo managers. So it's my company, basically. I'm the head coach, and I teach digital organizing, systems and operations, personal knowledge management, productivity, and project management. And sometimes you hear people call me the Swedish organizer. That's because I was born and raised in Sweden, and so that's how people tend to remember me. We also have Amy. I'll hand it over to Amy in just a second, but she is also senior coach. Amy, do you want to just say hi and do your little slide? It's so much better if you do it versus me.
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Amy. Gosh, Caroline, how long have you and I been doing things? But not as long as you and Amanda, I think, but
7 years now.
since, yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, back when I still lived in the US. In the last few years, I've moved to Sweden, Portugal, and now I live in the Netherlands. Not intention, I mean, we didn't mean to go all those places, but here I am. So yeah, and I have my own business, Clatter Not Clutter. I do digital organizing, mainly the overall digital and not specifically photo these days. But yeah, so I think that's it.
That's it. Yeah. And if you have been on any of our calls, you would have seen Amy. It's my trusty sidekick. So you'll see a lot of her. She's also in the community, and then we also have Amanda, who's also in our community and on our calls a lot of the time. Amy or Amanda, do you wanna jump on and just say hi?
Double A's, that's not fair.
Please, I know.
I'll answer to either. I'm Amanda. Caroline and I we met 2013.
Yeah, long time
We've
ago.
been in and out of each other's lives for many years. And then I officially came on board in the past year and just love it. And I run my own photo organizing business as well, digital and printed, and specialize in Apple photos. And yeah, anything. We're always learning as teachers too, and coaches, and we love it. So
Yeah,
ask
you
away any
had all your
questions
system
anytime.
operations knowledge that we always
Yeah,
talk.
yeah. The whole restaurant overlap has been actually quite handy with Caroline's training and photo organization. Who knew? Now I can't unsystems. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Exactly. Yeah. And it's super helpful. So if you are in like MMM, quarterly planning, any of those programs, you'll see Amanda. Amanda's also in the community. I'm so blessed to have two great coaches to help sidekick me because uh, it's a lot to teach on my own. I did teach on my own for quite a few years, and while it's fun, it's a lot better to have help and some good colleagues that you can rely on. So, uh, yeah, absolutely happy to have Amanda here. Dragana is not here today. She's taking a bit of a break because she had a little baby boy last year and she needs time with him. So she's sometimes here to do live event support for us. And she's a fantastic actress. So if you're ever in Macedonia, you want to pop in and to the local theater and see her there. And I believe she's been on a bunch of TV shows and all that over there as well. So we kind of miss her right now, but she's taking some well-deserved time off. And then Sherry, we also love. She's a co-coach for quarterly planning. She is an executive coach and an EFT tapping practitioner to help people with confidence and actually getting out of their own way to get things done. So those are the faces that you will see, and everybody is just fantastic and happy to answer questions for you. So if you have a question for me, you can tag in the community. But yeah, I'm super excited to have everybody with me. For the website, sometimes we get some questions on that. So my main website is the swedishorganizer.com, and that's where you can see all of my offers. And we also have a photo organizing blog. So specific for photo organizing, it's organizingphotos.net. And the reason I did a spin-off of that was because photo organizing, as you know, is such a deep niche. It looks like a small niche on the surface, but actually when you get into it, it's a very deep niche with a lot of different programs, a lot of different tech. And I just felt like it just needed its own entire website dedicated to it. So some of you may know me from there. Other people will know me from the swedishorganizer.com, more from the project management, systems and operations side. But you can find me on either one. Okay, so with that, I want to go over some of our offers, the courses and coaching offers that I have in my business, because again, if you've come in from either one of the websites, you may not know about all of them. And I want to be transparent and show exactly what we offer so that you all know. First of all, we have a free course called the Organizing Formula. That is open to any student that we have, and it is available for free on YouTube as well as in the Academy. So you can all enroll for free if you're not already enrolled. And that is a mini course. It's a primer on how to approach organizing and systems and operations throughout life, like in your everyday life. So it's not specific to, a residential or digital or anything. It's just how to think about systems and messes. So if you are trying to organize your closet, for example, that's a great one to go through. If you are going to go into DPO Pro and organize your photos, you get that as a primer course because I want everybody to know, how to think about systems and the basics of organizing before you get into that. So that one's completely free, available to everybody. And then, as I mentioned, we have DPO Pro. That is our photo organizing course for anyone who wants to get their photos in order and understand their digital universe. That is our bestseller still. And it comes with monthly group coaching and private coaching on certain tiers. So be sure to take a look at that one if you're interested in getting your memories in order. Then we also have one called the Bookend Approach, and that is for entrepreneurs specifically on how to create consistent open and close routines for their business. So what happens is a lot of businesses, they kind of get off to a good start, but then daily productivity sort of becomes an issue. And this one is specifically designed to help you with daily productivity and to increase sales so that you can actually make a side hustle a main business, basically. So it teaches you an open and close routine for your business. And it's only like, I can't remember exactly, 47, I think it's under $50. So it's a really good primer to start with if you're running a business. Then we have quarterly planning. That is something that we host 4 times a year. Anybody is welcome. We have people who come and do quarterly planning for their, life in general, but we do encourage business owners to attend specifically because we want to make sure that uh, you get focused on the right things to do for your business at the right time. So often we kind of think, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. And then when we actually go through the quarterly planning process, we find out that that's not necessarily what needs to happen next. So we have our next one in January, and it's going to be for Q1. So you can take a look at that if you are interested. It's billed as an annual subscription, and you get 4 per year. And it's actually a really fun process. This is probably my favorite offer because I get to see the progress that everybody makes, every 3 months and hear what everybody's up to. So it's really, really fun. Then we have Creative Systems Architect, or CSA for short. That is a year-long program that we have for leaders and entrepreneurs, again, who need to set up solid systems and operations for their business. Once you've been in business for like a year or two, sometimes a little longer than that, you start to see that you need to have help, you need to have processes, you need to have some systems up and running, a CRM, all of those things. And a lot of question comes up around like, well, what CRM do I use? What bookkeeping program do I use? How do I pick what I'm supposed to do? How do I set this up? How do I delegate? All of those things is what we talk about there so that you can then scale your business and actually get to the next level and not get stuck in this sort of catch-22 of, I need to hire help to scale, but I can't afford to hire help because I need to scale. Like that type of cycle is what we see all the time. So this is sort of a program that's designed to get you over that hump and get you into a more sustainable business. And then we have Mindful Monday Mapping. That is our high ticket program, our highest level year-long program, also for leaders, entrepreneurs, CEOs who want to create a shorter work week and a more spacious schedule for themselves. So basically after CSA, this is the next step up. If you are a more experienced leader, let's say you've had 5 to 10 years in business, and you find that you work too much or that you aren't delegating enough or you just want to improve your project management and productivity skills, that is what we take care of in that. And this is our big sort of flagship program. So if you come in at the top and actually enroll in Mindful Monday Mapping, you also get all of the other courses that lead up to it and all the other programs that lead up to it. So the Bookend Approach, Quarterly Planning, Creative Systems Architect, and all of those. And the reason for that is I didn't want to basically punish anybody that comes in and buys our highest tier, for themselves to improve. I wanted them to have all the sort of prerequisites available to them. So you can always start at the beginning and work your way up, or you can jump in at the top and get the whole bundle and take it depending on your level from where you need to go. So that is another really cool program, and like I said, it's meant for people who are slightly more advanced in business. Searching Sweden is a course that I had some years ago. It is still available for enrollment, but I'm not promoting it actively anymore. But if you know of anybody who has Swedish ancestry and is into family history and genealogy, this was a very successful course that we ran. It is still available for purchase. So it's called Finding Your Swedish Ancestors in Online Archives. And basically teaches you how to look up records in Sweden without knowing fluent Swedish. You do not absolutely have to know Swedish at all. You can research really well in the Swedish archives without doing that. And we've had great success with that program. A lot of people found a lot of really cool information about their families. So if you know anybody with Swedish heritage, I just thought I would mention that that is still available. We also have every now and then workshops and special events. You know, with all of these courses, they're all great, but sometimes there are related topics that we can't put into the curriculum, you know, because it would just make the courses way too big, too overwhelming. And so every now and then we host workshops on specific niche topics that are related, that people want to talk about, but that doesn't really fit into the curriculum of any particular course. So we have a few extra workshops at the swedishorganizer.com/workshops that you can look at specifically for photo organizing and project management and things, digital systems. So those are available to purchase for free, or they actually come bundled sometimes with some of the courses. We also have private coaching available. So sometimes we get that question of, you know, I need more one-on-one help. Do we have coaching available? Yes, I do private coaching, and Amy and Amanda, you know, are also available to help if there are people who have specific questions or they just want a little bit of extra hand-holding. I love private coaching because we tend to get very quick results, you know, when you can customize and really get down to exactly what somebody needs to work on. So if you feel like the group experience in a course, for example, or self-study is not for you, then we have private coaching available for you. We have a 20% referral program now in our academy. So everybody in their profile area should have a refer a friend tab in their membership account. So if you share that with your friends, let's say you have a friend and you think they would want to enroll in one of these courses, then they get 20% off their purchase and you can get 20% off your next purchase. So look for that in your academy account. So that was the overview of our courses. Really quickly, Amy or Amanda, do we have any questions that I may have missed? I'm not looking at the chat, so any questions about any of these?
Nope,
No, all good?
not so far.
Okay, then I will keep going. Thank you. I just want to mention our flowchart too, because I'm oddly proud of this flowchart that I built on my website. If you go to the swedishorganizer.com/flowchart, you will see that I made a page about basically guiding people through what course might be right for them. So if you're sitting there wondering, gosh, Caroline has a lot of courses, where do I start? I want to jump into something and take some action. Go ahead and go to the flowchart page and it will guide you through which course is right for you. And then you can jump to that page. So it's actually a really fun one. And you know what? Even if you're not interested in joining a course, go look at my flowchart because I'm really proud of it. It's fantastic. I can't believe I designed that all by myself. So give me a little love on that. And then our emails, I send out a lot of emails and, you know, it's sort of a double-edged sword. I don't want to bother people too much with too much email since I'm an organizer, but at the same time, I don't want anybody to miss out. So make sure you can add your email address to our contacts list, or to your contact list, excuse me, if you feel like you want to get our emails and don't miss out on anything. We also recommend that you make a folder or label for us so that you can drag and drop stuff into it. If something has ended up in the spam, especially in like your Outlook or Gmail, you should be able to just drag it to the inbox to mark it as not spam. And I just mentioned that so that you don't miss anything that we sent out, because we had a few people miss at the beginning of this year when we updated our Academy URL and then people couldn't log in. So I want to make sure that you all get the emails that we send out. So if you could add, you know, info and support at the swedishorganizer.com, even my email, Caroline at the swedishorganizer.com, to your contacts list, that is super helpful. So here are the emails. So hello at the Swedish Organizer is an email that you can use for just general inquiries. Let's say you have a friend who has a question. You have a quick question for me. You're welcome to use that. It's basically for anybody who wants to just say hi, ask more questions, anything like that. Specifically, people who are not enrolled yet. For people who are enrolled, we have a support at the Swedish Organizer that we prioritize. So if you have a question and you are an enrolled student, it's better if you use that one because then we get to that quicker because we always support our current students first before we answer emails from new and prospective students. So use that one if you want to get help with your course materials, if you're asking about memberships or billing or anything like that. And then you are welcome to use my private email, which is Caroline at theswedishorganizer.com. If you have a private note for me, if there's something that you want to keep, to between just you and I, if you want to make a personal introduction, anything like that. So those are the emails to note. You can also tag me, of course, in the community if there's anything else. I have a monthly newsletter as well called Creating Space on my main website, theswedishorganizer.com. So if you want to get even more from me, that's available as well. Okay, so that was all of the overview. Let's talk about the Academy. So when you enroll in a course from me, you get an Academy account. And it's the Academy at theswedishorganizer.com. Basically, we have that Academy on Teachable. When you sign up for a course, you basically create an account on Teachable, and you want to make note of those so that you can access them and log in as you work on the course. So again, it used to be coursesbycaroline.com. We updated that at the beginning of 2025. So if you're returning, make note of that new URL, academy.theswedishorganizer.com. We wanted to streamline that a bit better. So that's the new updated version there. You should still be able to log in just fine with your old credentials. And I want to mention too that Teachable has a mobile app. So if you want to take a course on the go, you should be able to do that. You can just go to your app store and download the Teachable app, and you should be able to log in as usual. I do recommend, though, that if you are in a course with a lot of tech instructions, like DPO Pro, for example, I would prefer that you watch on the desktop just so that you can see the screen bigger and make sure that you see all the buttons that I click in the tutorials and all that. But you can take it on the go, on your iPad or on your phone as well. Sometimes when we have, let's say, quarterly planning or just special interest webinars and all that, that's more than enough. In your account, you have navigation on the top bar, and you're going to see several options there. All your settings is going to be under your avatar. And I love it when you add a picture so that we know who we're looking at. But that's where you can have your profile updated. You can view all your membership and subscriptions. You can actually pause and cancel and all that on your own if you want to do that at some point. You can see your purchase history, update your credit card, your address, and all that. For a lot of these things, I actually don't have access to it. So your credit card information, for example, is not something that I have access to and can update for you. That's something you have to update for yourself. So a lot of that stuff is in the dashboard there. We also have an option for Academy emails. So apart from our email list, we sometimes send out blasts through the Academy if there's an emergency. For example, let's say we have a webinar and something goes wrong and people registered through our Academy, then we will send those blasts out through there. So if you go into your profile, again, under your avatar and edit profile, you'll see that there are notification settings down there. And if you could please turn on all of those notifications, that makes, ensures sort of that you don't miss any information there as well when we send it up through the Academy. It's very rare that we do it, but I just don't want anybody to miss anything. Like I said earlier, due to privacy laws, I don't have access to all the information. So your purchase history and all those things, you can edit that yourself. And then here is that refer a friend link that I just mentioned, the 20%, that is also in that same area. And I want to just also mention in the navigation, the difference between my courses and all courses. So when you log in, you have, this menu bar on top. Sometimes people get confused about where to click. And My Courses shows you everything that you have purchased and that you have access to in our academy, everything you've basically been enrolled in. And then All Courses shows you everything that's available from us, regardless of your enrollment status. So you may not be enrolled in every single course, and that's when All Courses, you can see what else is available. But for My Courses, that's what you have to click most of the time. That's what you have access to. And so when we have coaching calls for those programs that have coaching calls or special events and all that, you want to visit My Courses, and then you'll see that there are sections called coaching calls and events for each specific course. So if you're in DPO Pro, you'll have DPO Pro, the curriculum, and then you'll have another section that says DPO Pro VIP coaching calls. And the entire list of calls will be there with the invite link as well as the replays. That's where I put those. Same thing for CSA and MMM and quarterly planning. You will have those sections there so that you can see all the replays. All right, that was the Academy. Any questions on the Academy? Let me ask really quickly if there's anything. So far, so good?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
So I ever got an email. Well, I could have missed it because it's been a terrible year. But to renew my subscription. So where do I go to do that?
I will give you the link. I will send you a link.
Perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
It may have been that we paused you. I may have paused you because you were going to take some time off. But yeah, I'll make sure you get the link so that you can renew. Normally, when you enroll one time after the first year, it's on auto renewal. But I vaguely remember pausing.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I think we
But
decided.
I've been very busy, so I
Right.
could have missed it.
Yeah, I think that I'll make sure you have the link and you can renew. And I'm so glad to have you back, by the way. It's great to see you.
Me too. Me too. Thank you.
Fun. And it's when people come back year after year, it just makes everything, you get to know everybody and get to see where they're at with their
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. And I literally, can you hear me still? Am I on mute?
No, you're good.
Why it says mute there. I still haven't figured this out. But anyway, I like work on my photos all the time, like when I'm sitting on the couch, but I haven't, been on the calls because I've had a lot going on. But this is helpful to listen to the whole thing to see all that you have because there's so much more than there used to be.
Yeah. And people don't know that, right? Because depending on how you know me, you may not know all the things I have available. So I was like, well, I should probably say that every now and then.
Yeah. So what my subscription is the DPO VIP, right? That's how. Okay, that's what I thought.
DPO Pro, yeah. So the photo organizing course, which with the monthly group coaching
All that.
you run. Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. And I'm gonna also, Amy, would you make a quick note for me to send Peggy the DPO Pro sales page because I want to make sure that we know exactly what's included in that tier so Peggy doesn't miss any of her benefits. So thanks so much. Yeah,
thank you.
I made some at the beginning of the year. I released version 3 of DPO Pro, and we made some updates to it. So you have access to actually more than you did last year. So I want to make
good. Okay, I saw that, but I was preoccupied.
Well, there's a lot of changes that happen all the time, So that's why we want to do these webinars now and just get everybody updated and up to speed on.
And I'm excited to hear that Amanda's Apple Photos, so maybe I'll be in contact with you.
Good resource.
So that's great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Connie, I see you raised your hand. Wait, I can't hear you. Hang on. Let's unmute.
There we go.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I got you now.
Okay, so I'm doing DPO Pro again, so you've got number 3, but I'm going back. I need the fundamentals as well. So do I need to go 2 and 3? Is 3 just the updates, or is it built like a course in itself?
Good question. No, it's just the newest version. So when I update a course, I basically rewrite the entire thing and re-record the entire thing with all the new updates. So for example, when we went from Windows 10 to 11, or when Apple Photos made updates or things like that. So all you have to do is watch the latest course. You do not have to
Oh, good.
watch the first version of DPO Pro and then the second version of
Oh,
DPO.
good.
No, no, no. Just watch the latest version 3. I updated that at the beginning of this year just because so much tech has changed, since I did version 2, and it was time for that update. So version 2, like it's still valid, it's still good. It just doesn't have the latest tech, and I want everybody to be updated on how the latest looks. So just watch.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. But make sure
Yeah,
you watch the organizing formula, and if you haven't already, because that
yeah.
one was really
I
good.
did that once, but now I've got a project I've got to do and I've got time to learn. So I'm like a
Yeah,
very good student this time.
and there's no reason you can't watch it again and again. Sometimes
Yeah.
we have people who don't have a project, and then when they do have a project, they rewatch it because now they have something to experiment with. So I do recommend watching it a few times. There's really no limit on how much you can watch anything once you're enrolled. You can watch the same video 18 times if you
Okay.
want to. So there's no restriction.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
go
and
ahead.
I was wondering too. Oh, I'm sorry. We got a little lag in the volume, the sound. Is there a version of the DPO Pro 3 that has like video? Because I think I'm going to be focusing on video. And or do you have a separate little workshop or do you have, I don't know, is it private coaching? So
We
what do you got there?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, great question. So yeah, so DPO Pro, for anybody who's watching who doesn't know what DPO stands for, it's digital photo organizing. And a pro is what you become when you take the course. Now, video organizing is a completely different beast because it's different formatting, different type of media, all of that, and it doesn't hold metadata the same way and all of that. So what we did is we had Amy teach a special workshop on video organizing. So that is available to you if you are in the VIP tier or the private tier of DPO Pro. And Connie, I believe you are. So you should be able to, in your account, check for the nuts and bolts of video organizing. That should be a workshop that you have access to. And Amy or Amanda, if you could just make a quick note, make sure that I double check that Connie has access to that because she should. Because Connie is actually one of our OGs. She's one of the first people who jumped into DPO Pro over 10 years ago. So she is a legacy member and she has access to all the new updates that no.
I
No,
knew her when.
yeah. She should have access.
Thank you. You're doing wonderfully. It's so wonderful to see you blossom and grow and
Yeah, it's been no,
so
it's been great, and that was actually a really cool workshop, and I think overdue. We got a lot of questions on video, and Amy did a wonderful job teaching that and showing sort of why video is different. And if I put video organizing into DPO Pro, I mean, it would just be completely, it would be way too big. It would be way too big. So that's what we did. We did a special workshop on that. So that's available for everybody on
and
VIP.
I may call for a couple one-off,
Yeah,
okay, I'm
yeah,
stuck,
yeah,
individual calls. Yeah.
yeah. And that's okay too.
Okay.
Sometimes, you know, you need with specific questions and specific things, it's okay to do a couple of private calls as well. But that one should get you the basics at least so that you know kind of what you're dealing with. So yeah, good.
Okay.
Any other questions on the academy? Otherwise, I will move on to Circle. So Circle is our community. If y'all remember the ones of you who were here a long time, we used to have a Facebook community that was free, but a lot of folks found it way too distracting, and they were like, well, I keep jumping onto Facebook to talk, and then I forget that I'm doing that because I get notifications from other people and all that. It was just way too distracting. And so we moved, I want to say 2 years ago now or 3 years ago to Circle, which is a really wonderful community platform. And once you're admitted into our group on Circle, you can chat there, you can mingle there, message other students in any of our courses. It's a really nice platform. Looks very similar to Facebook, but it's completely curated just for us. And the URL for that is community.theswedishorganizer.com. So that's also new if you are new this year. It used to be courses by Caroline.community or something like that. And now at the beginning of the year, 2025, we updated it to Streamline. So community.theswedishorganizer.com, or you have that community link in the Academy navigation. You can also use the Circle app. One of the things I want to mention is that you have to opt in. We have this community as an optional feature because of different privacy laws in different countries and different states. We don't automatically enroll students. Some of our students prefer to remain anonymous. So if you want to participate, you have to opt in. And if you are in a course that has community access, there will be a lesson in that course that gives you the link that you click. And then when you click that link and enroll, we need about 48 hours to approve you. So we recommend that you do that right when you join a course, that you kind of set yourself up and click to opt in, and then you have access. Once you have a question, then you don't have to wait for 48 hours for us to approve you. You can ask right away. So it is optional, and we did that, again, for privacy and all different types of reasons to make sure everybody wants to be a part of it. Just like Teachable, Circle has an app. So if you're on the go, on your phone, on your mobile, or on your iPad or something like that, then you can download that from the App Store. It's called Circle Communities, and you should be able to, again, log in with the same credentials. It's actually really good to do that because there are many courses and communities that are hosted on Circle. So you might be a member of another one. The photo managers, for example, if you are a pro, just moved to Circle. And so now you could access both basically on the same app, which is really good. One quick note is that it works better on Chrome. It doesn't work well on Safari. Sometimes people get a blank page. I just want to mention that. So if you are on Safari, take note. We recommend you use Google Chrome or another browser. So because we have several courses, and several levels of access, you basically get access to the community based on the level that you're at. So we have a welcome section for everybody that everybody in the entire academy gets access to, where we have like announcements and support and all of that stuff. And then you have specific course sections in the sidebar. So if you're a member of DPO Pro, you're going to see a section that says DPO Pro with introductions, discussions, things like that, and the upcoming calls and all that. If you don't have access to DPO Pro, if you're not enrolled, then you're not going to see that in the sidebar. It's going to be locked for you. So whatever you have access to, like all the courses, it should match what's in your academy. Just like all communities, we have some rules and guidelines. You can find those in the About section. They're also pinned to the right sidebar. It's pretty obvious stuff, like don't be mean. But I have to say it because we're in that day and age. So just have a quick peek at that if you are new to the community. We also have an overview that I did. I'm going to do a newer one soon, but there is, if you're wondering more about how the community works and all of that, if you want like a little overview, you can watch that video. New this year is we used to have upcoming events only in the section for that event, but because many of our students are enrolled in multiple courses, we wanted to have a place where we could funnel all the events into one calendar. So at the beginning of the year, we had added an event tab at the top of the community. So if you're in more than one course, you can click on the events in the top menu, and you'll be able to see all the events that are coming up for the entire community, every single course, not just one course. So today's call is there, for example, and tomorrow's call is listed there. And so you can see basically all the things that are happening in one tab there instead of going into each specific course. A little bit easier sometimes when you're enrolled in multiple things. And then I want to mention too, when we have events, especially when you're in the events tab, we love it when you RSVP. And if you can't attend, it's no big deal. We are not keeping tabs on who's showing up and who's not showing up. But we do love it when you RSVP to all the events that you want to go to, because what happens when you do that is you get automatic reminders to your email and you get the links and all of those things. So it just makes sense to do that. So anything that you are interested in attending, just click on the RSVP and click if you're going or not going. And that way you'll get a reminder like an hour before a call starts with a link so that you don't have to dig for it in the academy or anything like that. And you can RSVP to as many events as you want to just to turn on those auto reminders. And then if you can't make it, no big deal. Not at all. It's just to help you kind of not have to dig for every link or look for it specifically. It's always helpful to have reminders. So we also have a section called opportunities in the community. It's a tab in the welcome section, and that is where you can post about job openings, apprenticeships, anything else that you want to notify people about that it might be an opportunity. So let's say that you have a friend who wants a digital organizer. You can post there and say, hey, my friend's looking for an organizer who might be interested. If you want work and you are thinking that, hey, I want to take on a new project to practice something, and I want to volunteer, you can post that there. If you're looking for private help, anything at all like that, you're welcome to create a post. That's what that is for, so that we can all help each other find the right support. The only thing I ask is that you don't overly promote yourself. So if you are a business owner, we don't want 18 posts a day saying, hey, I need work, I need work. Once a month might be more appropriate. Another thing that's really fun in our community is gamification. So we've turned on a little challenge. And basically what that means is that as you participate and engage in the community and become more and more experienced, you move up in the ranks. So you can see there, this is an older screenshot of me. I'm level 7. I'm not even a legend in my own community. I'm working towards it. I think I'm level 8 right now because it takes a while to get there and it's only a 2-year community so far. I'll get there, but the level on the beginning there is rookie, and then you become a contributor, then you move to explorer, rising star, leader, hero, trailblazer, then icon, then legend. And so as you move up, as you engage in the community, you get more and more experience points. And then at the end of each year, we have a drawing for prizes for the most helpful member. So you can actually go to leaderboard and see your status to see where you're at. I believe right now, I think it's Rebecca Hertzfeld. Shout out to Rebecca. I think she's in the lead right now for most engaged and helpful member. So if her name is still in the number 1 slot on December 31st, she's going to win a prize. And it's just fun to kind of help encourage everybody to be, helpful. And the more you answer people's questions, the more you ask questions, the more you like posts and all that, you get more and more points. So it's quite fun. If you are an affiliate or a partner to us, then you have a section on the bottom for sales and strategies, a specific section for that. And we also have affiliate information as well. So we have affiliate programs for most of our courses. So if you are somebody and you think it might be a good match for you to sell courses on our behalf, then you're welcome to talk to me. We can set up a regular sort of referral system where you earn commissions for that. We actually have one woman who sells DPO Pro as a downsell in her photo organizing business. And it's something that basically when her clients cannot afford her one-on-one services, she recommends DPO Pro to them as a DIY option, and she earns commissions on each sale. So there's a lot of opportunity there for partnerships with us. Okay, before I go any further, any questions on the Circle community or how to navigate or use the community at all? Have I missed anything? Any questions at all? Otherwise, I will keep going. Okay, fantastic. We can always address it later as well. So now I want to just go into a few learning tips and how to make sort of the best use of your academy experience. The first thing I want to mention is that when you are in a course, there's a button on the bottom when you're watching the lessons that says complete and continue. And that is how you mark a lesson as finished. When you have marked a lesson as complete, you see a check mark right next to it. You can see that on the screenshot, the blue check mark like that. You don't have to do that. That is optional. I don't monitor your progress or anything like that, but it's for you as a help to sort of keep track of where you left off. Because a lot of courses have, more than a few lessons, and sometimes it's hard to remember where you left off. So if you click complete and continue, it means you're done with that lesson, and you want to mark that you can move on to the next one. Now, that does not prevent you from going back and watching anything again. So even if you've clicked complete on any lesson, you can still go back and watch it again and again. It's really just for you to mark your progress. We have different playback settings. Video lessons play on auto, but you can pause, you can rewind, you can fast forward at any time. And that's when you hover above the bottom of the video player in the Academy. And the right side lets you adjust the playback quality and the speed. So sometimes if I talk a little slow, you can speed up the video a bit. You can also slow it down. And it also has a place for you to take notes on a video. So that's really helpful if you want to, adjust your playback settings and the size of the window. Let's say that you have trouble seeing, you can click on the full screen and the video will open in full screen. This is something that I learned not too long ago, actually. The pen icon under the video player lets you open a notes sidebar, and you can actually make comments and take personal notes. Let's say if you don't have a pen and paper available, if you don't have your, whatever note-taking system you use available, you can make notes there in the meantime. I actually had no idea that that existed even for a long time. It wasn't until I started doing these quarterly calls that I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, that's there. So I just want to mention that because that's a little used feature, but it can be very useful if you're on the go, for example. Under each video, especially like coaching replays and workshops and all that, we have timestamped scripts. And that's for you to quickly be able to navigate to whatever point of interest you have. So for example, if you are in a course and you cannot attend a live coaching call, but you send in a question, then what you want to do is go to the replay of that call after the fact, and you want to look and see the timestamp for your question. And then you can scroll to that place in the video and hear what I'm answering, for your question. And that way you don't have to sit through the entire video to understand when I answered a question for you. You can just jump straight to it. And it also helps to look through those notes to see what other questions other people asked so that, you might get answers to other questions that you have as well. So that's really helpful. I think a lot of people find that useful. And all the links as well at the bottom, like anything I talk about. So let's say I mention Duplicate Cleaner Pro or Photo Sweeper or something, you will find all the links to all of those things that I mentioned in the video at the bottom of that script. New for this year is we have coursework roadmaps, and we started with DPO Pro because DPO Pro is our bestseller course, and it's the one that has the heaviest tech learning. And so what I did earlier this year is I added learning roadmaps. We have 4 different ones, 2 for business owners and pros, and 2 for private collections and individuals that are not intending to do anything professional. So basically what you want to do is you want to decide, am I somebody who's trying to learn how to be a digital organizer for my business? Am I a business owner? Or am I somebody who just wants to organize my personal life and my personal collection? That's the first section. And then you want to select your time frame. So we have a 3-month one and we have a year one. So once you choose your profile and your desired time frame, you can just download that roadmap. So let's say that you are somebody who's doing their private collection and you want to take a year to do it. You will download the roadmap that says Personal Archives 12-month plan, right? And then that plan will show you exactly what to focus on and how much time to dedicate to each lesson and how to outline the way you learn for best results. So basically, if you don't know how to start or what to focus on, or, it gives you a suggested schedule basically on how to approach your learning. If you are in a course with no access to group coaching, for example, we have a lot of people who come in to our self-study for DPO Pro through the photo managers, then you can submit a question via email. So even if you're not on a coaching call tier, you can have an email sent to us at support@theswedishorganizer.com, and then I generally respond within 48 hours. If you have a lot of questions, I do recommend you upgrade to the group coaching or something like that so that we can get more in depth on it. But don't forget that the email is there if you need a quick pointer. Each course, depending on Again, whether or not you're enrolled in group coaching. If you are enrolled in something with group coaching, then you can pre-submit questions. So for example, if you normally attend all the coaching calls, you're welcome to ask live. But if you have a burning question that you want to make sure that we get to, make sure you pre-submit it. Or if you can't attend, make sure you pre-submit a question. And what I do is I prioritize pre-submitted questions. Sometimes we have a call where there's just a few people on and we have time to talk about everything. Sometimes, we have calls with a ton of people show up. We've had calls with like 30, 40 people at once, and not everybody can get their question answered within the hour. So we make sure that we, prioritize those who've pre-submitted questions. It also helps me a lot because I get to review it ahead of time to see what you need help with. So if it's a more complex program, for example, or a more difficult troubleshooting situation, then I have a moment before the call to actually look at it and see what solutions I can find. Otherwise, I kind of have to do it on the spot live, which is a little bit trickier. So it's all first come, first serve basis, and make sure that you send it in the way it's asked in the course. So we have a link where you can submit it officially, because if you send it through email, we might not see it in time. You can also ask questions in the community if you're a part of the community. We always say if you have a question, somebody probably has it too, somebody else. And it's a really good way to crowdsource answers and help each other, help everybody learn. So you want to just create, just like on Facebook or Instagram, or YouTube, just create a new post for each topic that you have. If you want specific input from a coach, you can tag the coach, and then everybody can kind of crowdsource the answer for you. We have one more coaching call left for TPM members this year. So DPO Pro, our photo organizing course, is a recommended course by the photo managers, which is a community for professionals. And they refer quite a few people to take our course. I think we've had, well over 100 or 150 people take DPO Pro as part of their professional journey. And so this year we had quarterly coaching calls for people who were a higher level DPO Pro member. We have one left, so if you are a TPM member, let me know and you can attend that call. It's next Thursday, the last one. If you are somebody who's just working on your individual collections, or if you are on a self-study or something, then you do not have access to these calls, then you just attend regular calls. But I just wanted to mention that because in the community, in our events list, you might see something that says DPO Pro TPM, and you might not know what that is. That is for professional members on a higher level. Okay, and our wonderful coach, Sherry Lukey, did a video about basically how to show up and how to approach learning, and how to not feel guilty about all of that. We know a lot of people who need help with organizing, just struggle with accountability, showing up, and all of that. And so she did a video, an EFT video, that you are welcome to watch before each call to sort of help you feel more consistent in your learning journey. So again, that's just something that's very common in people who feel like they need help with organizing and project management. So that's something that you can look for. I believe it's pinned in the sidebar. And then remember that you can do it. I know that sometimes organizing, no matter what you're organizing, can feel a little overwhelming. But step by step, if we break it down, we can do it. We can make a lot of progress. And I know that a lot of our students do make a lot of progress. It's just a matter of taking each step as it comes and, asking for help when you need it. Whatever course you are enrolled in, there's going to be a number of learning curves, and we just do one at a time. All of our courses are very deep for a reason. I want you to understand the concepts and learn how to fish on your own so that you can stay organized in the long run. But again, for the eager beavers, a reminder that, taking it a little slower is always the best approach. Consistent action over time is what gets you the results. And then for the time tamers, don't feel guilty about taking your time, because that's how the learning sticks. It's just repetition and repetition. And ask for help when you need it, because that's what we're here for. Finally, a quick note that through December 1st, starting today, we are offering 30% off any course or workshop in our academy using promo code HOLIDEAL25 in all caps. And if you have any questions about enrolling in any specific course, feel free to ask me about it. I'm also going to send out 12 days of holidays, holidays emails with specific highlights for each of our courses and workshops so that everybody knows what they're about. But yeah, that is it. Any questions at all? I'm going to stop sharing so that I can see everybody here.
We do have a question.
Okay.
It is if you need to go faster or slower in regard to the roadmap, can you change your roadmap?
The roadmap is either for 3 months or for a year, and you can obviously adjust it yourself. I don't have the ability to adjust it. It's like a PDF that I did based on whether or not you want to sort of get this done as quickly as possible. Then I would say 3 months is like the optimum time frame. You can absolutely slow it down a little bit, and just kind of cross off the calendar as you move through the lessons. But for most people, I recommend a year just to make sure that the learning sticks and that you take your time. But we do have, I mean, the original course, DPO Pro specifically, was written to be done in 90 days. Connie, you might remember that the first promo that went out was organize your photos in 90 days or less. Yeah, that was the whole approach that I had. And it did work. And a lot of people did that. But because there's so much learning in tech and we have such a broad community of tech learners, at different levels, I always just recommend do a year. There's really no rush on this unless you have a budding project that absolutely needs to be done. But you're welcome to, basically take the 3-month roadmap and cross off what you've done and just extend the timeline a little bit. It's just, I wanted to create something where people didn't feel like hesitation around where to start. Like I wanted a guided, of course you can follow the curriculum, but I wanted a guided approach that was a bit more specific. So that's what those are for. So yeah. And if you don't know how to find them, then let me know. Any other questions on that? Thank you for showing up, everybody. I hope you learned something.
I
Connie,
have a question.
and then
Go
Peggy.
ahead.
Connie and then Peggy. Wait, I don't hear you, Connie. Hang on.
I know Amy was creating her Apple operating system thing. Is that available in full version yet? Or
It's not. That's funny.
that's
You should ask.
okay.
No, no. I actually am just done filming the next module, so I'm hoping to have it done by the end of the year, beginning of next year. At this point, my
Yeah,
mom came to live with us in the Netherlands this past year, so yeah,
just a little busy, moving
it
country
got
to
a little
country.
crazy here. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
but
well, I
it's
look
coming.
forward
It's
to it.
really coming along great. Yeah, so I'll definitely. Caroline will certainly let everyone know when that's out and about, available for
Okay, because I
everyone.
kind of had a year from hell, so I thought, well, maybe
No.
I just lost all but I'm back and I'm looking forward
Okay.
to
Oh, well,
it.
great. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Well, thanks for asking. Yeah.
year. 2025 was I don't think easy for anybody. But
Oh God.
one day at a time, just like with organizing. Peggy, did you have a question as well?
Yeah, so I just typed it. So is there if I have specific technical or kind of deep questions just because I don't know the computer that well and things like that, is there a specific place that I should ask that at?
Yeah, so if you want something that we talk about during a coaching call, just pre-submit
Mhm.
a question for the coaching call and we can talk about it and troubleshoot live and all of that, which I
Mhm.
recommend. But you can also post in the community, just under DPO Pro discussion. You can put
So,
a
okay, that's what I was wondering if that's
yeah.
because I've never really gotten into the community, but I really want to try to do that now because I think I have a little more time now. So, I just wanted to know if there was something specific.
Yeah, and then I mean the other option is to send an email. But again, we prioritize coaching call questions
Sure.
and as well as the community questions just because it helps everybody else learn too. We've seen so
Right.
many times people go, "Oh, I have this question. It's so basic," and then it gets the most engagement because everybody's like, "Oh, I
Sure.
have a question too. Thank goodness she asked it." I
Yeah.
was asked it. So it's really helpful, specifically in the community and specifically on the coaching calls, because then we can kind of
Yeah.
talk about it, and it's just more
It's
engaged.
just really helped. This whole thing has helped me, because there's a lot of stuff here,
It's a
but
lot.
this breaks it down. So
I have
thank
a
you
lot
for
of
doing this.
courses. I have a lot of material. There's a lot to learn in each course, a lot of learning curves. And again, I teach thorough because I really want everybody to
Yes,
be
I
able
love
to
it.
stay organized long term instead of just like this quick fix that lasts for 10 minutes, So that's the thing. And because of that, obviously, it takes a little longer to learn and it's a bit more of a journey, but you know, so yeah, that's why we have all this, and again, learning as an adult, it might have been a minute since you went to school. People sometimes think, well, I just have to buy the course and then problem solved. No, no, you have to actually remember to take the course and actually sit down and take time to learn, watch the module, then take time to implement and all of that. It's just, we forget sometimes that it takes a moment
Absolutely.
to learn, so yeah, but again, one step at a time. We're gonna get there. So, hi, Cami. Good to see you.
Hi, how are you? I know, I thought I should say hello too. Everybody's
Glad to see you
getting
here.
to know each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, how are you? It's great to be here. I always like watching you go through your steps because I agree, you break everything down so digestible and it really shows that you walk your talk.
Yeah,
That's what we're here for.
that's
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you. It's really.
Yeah.
I always recommend like if you have absolutely no idea like where to start with the organizing.
Yeah.
It's free, it's available, you can watch it again and again, and it's just a really good primer on what is organizing all about, systems, what does that look like in practical terms? Because again, a lot of people get confused between cleaning, organizing, and systems and like all these different things. And how being neat is not necessarily being organized. Being organized is not necessarily being clean. Like it's
Yeah.
different things. And so that's what I recommend for everybody, and
I
then
think there's also, I'm a really big fan of archetypes and Myers-Briggs personality types and different ways that people, process information and approach life. And you're definitely the system, like organized. You also have the creative aspect, which is great for me because I am super creative and I don't need closure right away, but I do better most people I think do better with structure and order. But I also have that creative, expansive, like more, and I want to get to it, but it's really, I have to use that other piece of the personality type to get there. And I think you've been I'm in the process of working with you. It's quite a project because I am so much of that, but I can feel myself slowly stepping towards a better way. And I also feel like highly creative people aren't always going to stick with routines and systems. They're just not. So knowing who you are and giving yourself the okay, even while we're listening to you, to be able to not be perfect and not be, do it exactly what you say, like that's just too high of an ideal. But I think it's okay. I think it's important to kind of take that into perspective as we're learning. I'm doing that anyways. And, you don't want to beat yourself up over not doing everything. Like that's crazy.
no.
So thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, thank you for saying that's very sweet. And one thing that I can add to that is obviously, I didn't learn this overnight. It took me a moment to learn all of this too, a lot of practice and all of that. But I found it so helpful for myself because I am a highly creative person and I wasn't always this organized.
Yeah.
But at this point in my life, there's no way I could accomplish all the things I do without being somewhat organized and systematized. There's just no way
Yeah.
I need to
And
breathe.
I'm organized and systematized as well, but I so easily get out of it. And I think like even your flow chart for the photos and the backup is like you just want to go, whoosh, okay, that's good. And then what's next, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And one thing that I can also mention is, in my company, we have a come as you are policy, which I really love, which means that you can show up to any coaching call, any private call, um, you know, even if you didn't finish your homework, even if you didn't put makeup on, even if you didn't do whatever, like we have a come as you are because the only thing that matters is showing up. The rest we can figure out, the rest
Yeah.
is, I have so many people who are intimidated by the organizing process because they feel like that perfectionism is like they have to show up perfect, especially if they're working privately with me. They're like, oh, I have to do my homework perfectly. Oh, I have to show up perfectly. I have to look all together and this and that. You don't. That's the whole point. In fact, when I was a residential organizer, I had people hire cleaning crews to clean up their house before I got there because they didn't want me to see the mess that I was going to organize. And I said, I understand, but I'm not going to judge. That's not what this is for. What I need to see is exactly what's going on because that's how I can understand you and understand what needs to be fixed and what's difficult and what's easy and all of that. So I love that we have that policy. I put that in place very early um, because I just want people to show up. Like, I don't want you to not attend a coaching call just because you feel like you didn't do your homework perfectly or you didn't have time for something or, a hair strand is out of place. Like, that's not at all. We don't need to be perfect. We need to just show up and talk things through and all that. So, that's kind of what I believe in, and that's kind of what I just want people to take action and move slowly towards their goals and get things better and better and better. So, yeah, so don't be afraid to show up. Everything else can be worked out. I'm super glad that you feel like it's useful and worth your time and helpful. And, don't be afraid to ask for private coaching if you need it. Don't be afraid to ask questions in the community. There's no judgment, and we're all here to help. And that's really all there is to it. So, Connie's just saying, I download the Circle app and I love it. Yeah, exactly. It's just fun. It makes you feel like in between calls too, you have more to talk to us about. So, okay, wonderful. Feel free again to email me with any questions or reach out in the community. I will make sure, Peggy, that you have the link. I think I've emailed it to, but I'll email it again just to make sure. And then Cami, I'll see you next week. And Connie, I'll talk to you soon. And Amanda, I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Happy
Bye.
organizing. Bye.